So Lion Brand Yarn has been around for 137 years, and I am actually the brand ambassador for the company, as well as being 5th generation of the company. So I feel like I have two very big roles, representing the company, being the face of the company, and I go out to guilds throughout the United States, hopefully one day internationally, and I talk to people about Lion Brand Yarn, and I tell them our story, and I also give a face to the brand, whereas they might have fallen in love with it, they may have learned how to knit or crochet with Lion Brand. Now they can kind of have a face to associate with Lion Brand. And I also teach knitting and crochet back in New York City. I teach children how to knit and crochet. The youngest I've taught so far is 6, which has been really exciting. And I also have my web series, which is a new addition to the company. They've never done anything like this before, and it's called Tea with Shira. And that's a very, very exciting piece of being a brand ambassador, kind of representing Lion Brand in a new way. Tea with Shira is really exciting. I love talking about it. So, twofold. I never was a big tea person until I was like, let's do tea with Shira. And now, you know, I always had the occasional chamomile when my tummy would hurt, or, you know, peppermint or mint when I would have a headache. But now I've actually really gotten into it. So we have the tea aspect, and we have the knitting and crochet and yarn aspect, and crafting aspect for that matter. And I talk to people like from beginners, like my mother. I interviewed my mom for a Mother's Day episode. She has never knitted before in her life, and she's been married to my father, who's the president of the company, for 47 years. So it was about time. And then you have my brother, who is not a knitter or crocheter, but he loves to use machines. And so we just did one where he used a loom, an Addy loom, to make a hat. Another one, I interviewed, you know, different people in the studio, and just getting like different vibes from people and their experiences with yarn and craft and crochet and knitting, and hearing their story, and somehow kind of connecting it back to Lion Brand. And then we always end it with a tea note, you know, like what they like or what they like to drink, or a tea brand that they like. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I get to meet lots of people, and there are many people in the knitting and crochet industry, the yarn industry, that I've known my whole life and I've grown up with, that many people don't necessarily kind of get the personal connection with. So like Lily Chin, for instance, she taught me how to tie my shoes, and she's going to be someone who I'm going to be interviewing. So it's very exciting. Lion Brand has changed big time. Okay. I think my biggest memory about Lion Brand and the way it's come so far now is that in 1998 there was the Knit Out, which was this big thing in Lincoln Center that my father put together as being part of the Craft Yarn Council. And it was just people coming together, knitting, different brands coming together, bringing, you know, just tables. And then it became this big thing in Union Square one year, a fashion show. And now, you know, Lion Brand is, you know, I mean, Vanna White has been a part of our company for such a long time. I mean, she's been a part, I mean, I can remember her for at least 20 years. And, you know, with her doing things for St. Jude's, and we've raised over $1.5 million for St. Jude's. I think that it just, knitting and crochet really took off, I would say, in the past, like, 15, 20 years, like a whole other level, that it wasn't just like grandma's activity anymore. So I think that that's how it changed, you know, that I think that the public was ready to accept that it's not just like an old hobby anymore, that it's something really fun. Okay, so I actually just started it right now. It's the simplest pattern. It's called the Octavia blanket, and I actually did a whole like journal entry about it for Lion Brand recently. And it's a baby blanket and super easy. It's like the garter stitch with yarn overs involved, really like mindless. I think that's why I like it, because I don't have to think about it. Like, it's just like, I can like watch TV and do it. I don't need to count rows or whatever. And it's one of those really easy patterns that you can then, if you want to get fancy, you can put cables in it, you can like change colors, you can do like color work, you can do all those different things, but you don't have to, like, it's up to you. So I love that. And I'm a little, the yarn that I like to use is Babies First. And I feel like it doesn't get its time to shine, but I really love it because it's a great baby yarn, because it's cotton and acrylic. It's super soft. There's great yardage in it. The pattern, I think, recommends like 6 balls, but I never end up using the full 6. So, I mean, you always say get more, and then, you know, but I love it. I think it's great. And every time I've made it, like the mom and the baby always love it. And my favorite needles, Knitter's Pride. Those are my favorites. I love them so much. Knitter's Pride carbons, I feel like I should be the salesperson for those needles. That should be my side job. I do a really good job of selling those at the studio. When I used to work in the studio, I would sell those real hard. I think knitting and crochet and just crafting in general is important to keep, and just it's an important craft to keep on passing along, because there's something that brings people together about it. You know, I've made projects when I've gone through a really hard time, and like people know about it, and that project then becomes even more than just a hat or a blanket. You know, it brings people together. And I think that, you know, teaching people how to knit and teaching people how to crochet and like doing felting and yarn spinning, all that kind of stuff, it brings people together. It doesn't have to be a solo thing. And I think that that's what's so great about it. And I think to lose it and to end it would be, it'd be horrible. But also you would lose that, you know, there's a term being like a close knit, you know, that it really, there's something to say about when, especially when I go to like guilds, you know, knitting guilds and crochet guilds, you see these people that come together because they have this one thing in common that is craft. And it's your imagination and your creativity. And I think that's a very, very strong piece that people create, you know, that people have inside themselves. And not everyone's creative, but the people that are, I think they need to stand together and like really, you know, be strong and keep it going. So ice cream is a really good one. Ice cream's delicious, and it's a yarn. There's Heartland, which is a great yarn, and Heartland Thick and Quick. Those are Heartland and Heartland Thick and Quick are made in the USA yarns, which, you know, everyone always loves that. I love ice cream because it's a lighter weight yarn and great for babies. So a lot of our customers were asking for that, so we could give them that. And we always love to hear from our customers and try and make, you know, what they want and try and make that happen. But I would definitely say Heartland Thick and Quick. There's always Country, which is really great. I always say that sometimes you can't see the beauty of what Country is in the ball, and then once you see it knit up or crocheted up, we have this poncho pattern that's outstanding. We call it the $1 million poncho because it's just amazing. Like, everyone looks like $1 million in it. So I definitely think that those yarns are some really great options. Okay, so you can find Tea with Shira on our YouTube channel, the Lion Brand YouTube channel. Under videos, I know that there's a playlist called Tea with Shira. And I'm right there, and you can come and hang out with me. Usually we have the videos come out bi-weekly, so 2 a month. And everyone is a new adventure, so you should come and join me. It's really fun. Bring some tea with you.